Hey folks, I'm Coran Spicefreak Sloss, and before we get into today's video, I'd like to quickly mention this stuff. Recently got some Oral-B Pro Expert from Procter & Gamble, free taster of it, or trial, or whatever you want to call it, toothpaste, and thought it might be of interest to some of you lot, because I know a lot of you have more American tastes in the chili community. And this, while it claims to be clean mint, is in fact wintergreen flavour. One of the main flavourings in root beer. So, just thought that might be of interest to you all, but today what I'm actually trying is the contents of this black box here from the Chilli Alchemist. And to do so, I have a friend with me who has rather more British tastes and probably would not enjoy that at all. So, let's cut over to the webcam and I'll show you who it is. Yo, Exban, how you doing?
How are you doing, Coran? Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you? But how about you?
I'm holding up pretty well. Lockdown's been surprisingly good to me.
Yeah, I've been a bit bored working from home, but that's the usual. So.
Fair enough.
Oh well.
I mean, I'm doing what I normally do. I'm reviewing Chilli and I'm playing card games. Just the internet's now involved a little more.
Yeah, it's hard to play card games when you've got a 2-meter distance. You can't see the cards.
Yeah, you gotta
crazy.
do it all digitally.
Yeah.
I tried doing it via webcam and it just doesn't work. You gotta play digital cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, shall we have a proper look at what we're trying today?
Oh yes, we shall.
So if I open this box up, I've got a gift set from the Chilli Alchemist to try with you. And I've got a couple spreads as well, but you'll see them in a later review, probably a written one. Because today we're just trying the contents of the gift box. And can you show the camera what you got to try them on?
Oh yes.
Because I've got some chicken nuggets, but I understand you have slightly different.
I have some chicken goujons, which are slightly larger, but just as good.
Fancier sounding.
Yes, of course.
Right, so I'm going to open these up. We have, first of all, Smoke, the reworked version of the old smoke potion, now with more chipotle and less liquid smoke. We have Pure, the purest of the bunch, formerly known as the Everlasting Flame. This used to be red habanero and chili extract. I think the chili extract was from ghost pepper, but it doesn't really matter once you concentrated it that much. Now it is red habanero and ginger, and as before, it looks remarkably orange for a red chili sauce. But previously it was very, very fresh tasting. I'm hoping that the ginger only enhances that. Finally, we have, supposedly the hottest of the bunch, Flame, which is a blend of cayenne and ghost pepper. It was my least favourite before, and they haven't really told me what has changed. Previously, though, it was known as Purus. Anyway, shall we start with the smoke potion? Or, the formerly smoke potion, the smoke.
The smoke. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead.
Do you want to read the ingredients list, or shall I?
I'll read the ingredients, shall I?
Okay.
So, main ingredients, sugar, of course. Tomato paste, so it's a tomato base. Cider vinegar, chipotle in adobo, so chipotle peppers, roughly 56%, water, tomato paste, onion, and there's also roasted red pepper and a bit of tomato and garlic in there as well. So it is mostly chipotle and with a mix of tomato.
Yeah, if you look at it, it's actually 11% the chipotle in adobo. And then chipotle peppers are 56.26% of that chipotle in adobo.
So what they're claiming is that it's a chipotle ketchup, which with that mix makes sense since it's...
Now, they didn't previously call the smoke potion a ketchup, but it was a barbecue sauce with a ketchup base. Yep. Now they're listing all the ketchup ingredients rather than listing ketchup as an ingredient, but it should otherwise be relatively similar.
Yep.
And you can see... it's something of a reddy browny colour. You can definitely see it's redder than a lot of barbecue sauces, at least on my camera. Your camera's a bit darker than mine.
Yeah, unfortunately, but my lighting isn't quite good, unfortunately.
Don't know if you picked up on that on camera, but there's a definite funk when you open it from the inrushing air. This has been properly sterilised, properly sealed under high temperature, so that's good. And you can definitely smell the smoke and some of that adobo sauce from this one.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, that is quite strong. That's quite a strong smell.
And you told me off camera you're not that into smoky sauces. Hopefully you'll enjoy this one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because it does smell fantastic.
I will say my barbecue sauce taste is closer towards a sweet, but we will see how this works.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to just stick these on top of my laptop, I guess. And pour a bit onto the first one.
Oh yeah, that's smoky. Alright, this might be quite interesting to do on camera.
Well, we'll speed up. Can you bring it up a little bit so we can see it better?
There you go.
Thanks.
Come on. Oh, it's so thick that it's not coming out. Give me a second. Ah, there we go. Starts coming out.
That is not the previous smoke potion. The previous smoke potion was a bit more molassesy and focused more on the smoke and spices. This one, you can really taste that adobo chipotle alongside the tomato. Yeah, it's not the same sauce, but this is gorgeous.
I only had a little bit on it, but I can definitely... The chipotle is... I can taste it, but it's not overpowering in any way, which makes sense with that content. And yeah, it's actually quite sweet, I think. But I've only had a little bit, so I'll have a bit more.
Well, it is first ingredient sugar, so that's hardly surprising. But yeah, it's a little bit more ketchupy than the old smoke potion.
It is, however, annoyingly thick.
Yeah, it does have that kind of barbecue sauce consistency, doesn't it? It just sticks to the bottle.
Yeah, I've got a significant amount on this next bite, so bottoms up.
No, I'm going to have one more with this one before we move on.
I actually think it's not spicy enough, in my opinion. I think it needs to be a little bit hotter.
I don't know if it needs to be, but it certainly could be.
It could be, and I think it would improve it slightly if it was a bit hotter, in my opinion. I'm enjoying it, but I feel like it could have a little bit more of that chipotle spice in a way.
It doesn't need any more of the adobo, though, because that's already coming through very
nice. That's coming through nicely. Sorry for not getting this on camera. Unfortunately, it's so thick that I'm having to whack it against the desk to get it open.
But yeah, I really like the flavour of that one. And we'll almost certainly be running through it very quickly and buying more very soon.
That's the other good thing about having increased heat, is that you don't get through it as quickly.
But as is, I'd say that's probably a high 1.5. Sort of towards the top end of what I'd actually call mild, but definitely not even a low medium.
I'd actually give it a 1. If I drowned it in it, maybe I'd get more spice, but
yeah, I did put a fair amount on,
I'm getting little more than a tingling. In terms of taste, completely different.
Oh yeah, in terms of taste, that is strong. It is ketchupy, but you definitely taste the chili and the spice blend that goes in with the chili. So what would you say flavour-wise, if you were to give a number to that?
I haven't scored for quite a while on taste, so this is going to be a little bit out of the blue. Please don't compare it to any of my previous scores. I'd give it a happy 8 or an 8.5.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't remember what your previous scores were on most things, to be honest. I know you rated the Reaper Extreme from Hot Face Sauces very highly.
Yeah,
but we all rated that very highly. That was also an incredible one.
That was an excellent sauce, and I still have to get more. I've run out of all my Hot Face sauces recently.
I've been meaning to get more as well.
I'm in the wrong bit of the country to get it at the moment, so...
I haven't run out of the green one yet, but I've been using that very slowly because I know I can't get more of that. And you did say you wanted to try it.
If you can save some, that would be very, very appreciated.
I will do my best, but we shall see. Anyway, should we move on to the pure?
Yes, let's go ahead.
This is habanero chili mash, which is 93% habanero chili, and then also salt, presumably the other 7%. And yeah, it's 30% that habanero chili mash, then it's cider vinegar, carrot, lime juice, ginger, and salt. So it's only 30%, well, it's a little under 30% chili, which is less than I expected. But gorgeous orange colour, and if it tastes anywhere near as fresh as the old version, I will be very happy with it.
It does have a good colour, that's what I would agree with. It's a very, it's a very...
I'm going to hold this...
It's almost bright, it's quite nice.
Yeah. I'm going to hold this right up to the microphone, see if you can hear the pop as it opens. No, there wasn't as... Oh, there we go. A little bit.
Yeah, I didn't hear it pop.
The smell on that's really nice.
Oh, that smells fruity.
Yeah, you get a little bit of the ginger as well, and I'm definitely getting the fruity quality of the cider vinegar.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of ginger in that, but most it's
this one pours a lot more readily.
Okay, that's
be careful.
Good. I might be able to get it on camera. Oh, shit. Sorry, YouTube. Bleep that out.
I will do, don't worry.
So yeah, it's all over. It's all over most of my goujons. Okay, bottles up. Oh, that's a bit more heat.
Yeah, that's a good deal spicier. That's in the sort of 3.5 range, I'd say.
Warm.
I have had hotter habanero sauces, but I mean, not vastly so. This is towards the high end of that 3.5 at least. And it is a very sort of spiky kind of heat, like you'd expect of habanero.
Yeah. Here come the hiccups. You can tell it's spiky.
Oh, I'm not getting to that from this yet, but...
Oh, it's definitely a pleasant heat, though.
Yeah.
It's not out of range at all.
A sort of heat that can catch you off guard, but is still within the range of what a normal person could enjoy.
It does taste quite bright and fruity.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but it's also got the ginger there, and the ginger is sort of...
Brings it
it's
down
doing
a little bit.
something of what the extract did previously, but it's not giving it that chemical quality.
Yes, there's no chemical flavour whatsoever, which is, with especially a sauce of this colour and this type, it's very much appreciated, because it doesn't give any of that off-putting aftertaste or anything like that.
Yeah. So I always really liked the freshness of the chili of the old version, but there was that slightly off-putting chemical aftertaste, as you say.
Good sauce. You got any more thoughts, or shall we give a heat rating?
Well, I've said a 3.5 from me.
Yeah, I'd give this a 4 or a 4.5. It is high for a medium.
I was very close to giving it a 4.
I'd say it's very much in the medium rating, but it is...
It's what I'd call hot by a normal espresso restaurant type standards, but it's not the extra hot, it's not sort of your super hot, your ghost stuff. But yeah,
Pardon me.
As habanero sauces go, it's not the hottest of the hot, but it's definitely up there.
Yep. Flavour rating, a fruity taste isn't necessarily my favourite, but I do still appreciate the very gingery undertones and the fruity main taste. So I'd probably give it a 7.
Fair.
Quite happily.
Not
Fair.
quite as much your thing as the last one then, but
Nope.
Still a good solid sauce and just personal preference.
To be honest, that's down to my biases, to the fact that I just like smoky sauces.
Fair enough. So here we have flame.
It's a fairly short list. 38% cayenne pepper, cider vinegar, carrot, interestingly. Ghost pepper chili mash, which is 93% ghost pepper, which is 9% of the sauce. And the rest is garlic and red onion.
Yep. So there's some salt in there from the mash, because you need that to preserve it during the ferment, but other than that, the mash is all chili.
Yep, all ghost pepper. It should be...
Deep red smell on this one. You can still get a little bit of that cider vinegar, but it is mostly just red chili, this one. And it still smells like the chili's quite fresh, but it's definitely a different chili to the habanero from before.
Doesn't have a very strong smell. I thought that Pure had a stronger smell than this.
Pure does have a stronger smell than this, yes.
Yeah. It is also very, very not thick. That's what
Oh god, yeah. That's all over my floor.
I'm going to quickly mix it because I'm worried a little bit. There we go. It's still very watery.
Yeah, it's a very thin sauce. I'm going to do it over my plate this time.
Yeah, same. I won't be able to bring this on camera, sadly. Nothing initially.
Starts off with a very low heat, and then it builds from the ghost.
It's coming.
The cayenne is doing surprisingly little for the heat of this sauce.
Yeah, it
but
is.
The ghost pepper provides a long growing burn.
I'm not getting anything from the cayenne.
And so far, that long grow isn't exceeding anything from the pure. I'd say this is slightly lower 3.5, if anything.
This tastes quite mild. Is there something wrong? Hang on, I'm going to try it again. The downside of the thickness of this sauce is that it dribbles down the bottle when you try and pour it.
Yeah, this is the sort that could do with a flow restrictor.
Yes.
Maybe not one of the really tiny ones like you get on Tabasco and the like, but still something a bit thinner than just that hole in the neck.
All out the soakage on this one. We'll see whether it goes. Has a tinge to start off with.
Yeah, there's an initial tang and a tiny bit of heat, but it is very small. It is the delayed ghost pepper that really gets you, and even that isn't that high.
No, it's warm.
Personally, I would say Pure is the hotter of the two.
I went overboard with how much sauce I put on that one, and all I'm getting is warmth. Like, pleasant warmth. Nothing that's making me hiccup, nothing sharp. Admittedly,
no, it's not a sharp heat. And intensity-wise, I'd say it's near to Pure, but it's not as sharp. It doesn't catch you the same way, and it's still not quite as strong.
Yeah. In terms of taste, apart from that initial tang, and that little fruity taste. There's not much there.
It's a fairly standard red chili taste, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's relatively pleasantly fresh red chili, but the
I-
thing you want to do with this, I'd say, is not have it as is, but take their recommendation to use it on wings and mix it with some butter to make a longer burning version of a buffalo sauce. They also suggest it on kebabs, which was what I had in my previous video and would have been quite nice with this. Though I also enjoyed that a lot with the sauce I did have on it.
If this heat was in either of the other two sauces, it would be awesome, because this heat is very tolerable. It's not mild, but it's not sharp and overbearing. And I think that would work well in a more flavourful sauce. My problem is that the red pepper flavour isn't pronounced enough. It tastes watery to me. It
can have a little bit less vinegar, a little bit more cayenne.
Yeah.
I agree.
A little bit more cayenne could really improve this sauce.
Yeah. In terms of putting that heat in another sauce, the old Chilli Alchemist did have a version of their smoke potion that they called their smoke potion Magnum Opus, which was similar to the smoke, or the smoke potion, but with added a little bit of mustard, a little bit of bourbon, and a little bit of smoked ghost pepper to give it a sort of similar burn to this one, and still keep some of that smokiness and that barbecue kind of quality. So if they go back and make a version of the new smoke that does a similar thing, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Because flavour-wise, the smoke is definitely my favourite of the bunch. I like the pure a lot, and I absolutely do not mind the flame. The flame is still good. But the flame is probably my least favourite of the three, all the same.
I would agree with you on that. All three are excellent. They're not perfect by any means, but they're still pretty well designed in every respect. And yeah, I'd agree with you on that hierarchy. Smoke is my favourite. Pure
Gonna have some more of the smoke right now.
doesn't quite get there. And flame, it's got the heat, just doesn't have the taste for me. Although that tang at the beginning is quite pleasant.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some more smoke as well. If I can get out of the bottle, that is. Don't know whether you can hear this, but the bottle is making all kinds of nasty noises as I try and pour it out. Nice big dollop on there. Oh, that is tasty. Oh, that is good.
Yes, this is amazing, this one.
It deserves that 8 rating.
At least.
And for old time's sake, I'll have a little bit more of the pure.
Oh, I've eaten all my chicken, so...
You're out. You're out of chicken, okay.
Go for it.
I'll let you talk then.
Well, I'm not sure what else I have to say, to be honest. I've loved all of these, and stay tuned for the review of the spreads later. Thank you for joining me on this, Exban.
No problems.
And I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
Unless you've got anything else to say.
Nope, that's all from me.
Cool. Well, I'll see you for another review later.
Yeah. Wrap it up,
Bye.
and thank you very much. See you.